And now I want to challenge you.
Oh, help.
But not you, actually. You're the only person I'm not talking to right now.
That was very good.
I'd rather die, because I'm very stubborn.
I feel great. I embrace it.
As a better version, as Annika 2.0 in a way.
Welcome back, everyone. This episode is about self-care. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you're always showing up for everyone else but forgetting yourself, it's time for a change. Self-care isn't a luxury, it's the foundation of success, confidence, and happiness. In this episode, we'll break down how prioritizing yourself can fuel your energy, sharpen your focus, and help you show up as your best self every single day. It's time to stop running on empty and start thriving. Let's get started.
Hello, my brother. What have you done today for your self-care?
Hello, my little sister. What I have done for self-care today, it's actually did already start yesterday. I went and sleep on the same time as I do every day, and this night I get 7 hours sleep. I wake up, feel fresh and good. I read a little bit in the Bible, and thanks God for a new and beautiful day. And then I went up, did my push-ups as always, 136 today in 3 sets. And after that, I went out as I do every day and went for a walk for around 10 minutes. So I get the daylight inside my eyes. Then I tell my body and myself that this is morning now. So the clock inside my body know this is the waking up time in the morning. So after that, talk with my daughter and did drive safe for school. So that have things I have done for my self-care today. And when I was walking around this 10-minute morning trip, used to do it almost every day, I have gratitude. I think about good things and embrace the beautiful nature, the wind, the beautiful mountain, the ocean. So it was a great start at the day. And this one I try to do every day. Yeah.
That is so awesome. And I hear that you are doing a lot of the things, you are implementing a lot of the things that we have been talking about in the previous episodes about daylight, about gratitude, about routines, about enough sleep. So it's also because you've been very good at these things, but at periods of times you have had other priorities. Maybe you've been working too much or putting yourself a little bit to the side. And then you were honest to us all about a fatigue that you were facing a few weeks ago. So now it sounds like you're taking better care of yourself and that things are going better for you.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I work more about that and have to take more care of myself now. Yeah, so I work a lot about the things we have talk about in the podcast. Yeah, and routine and sleeping and daylight and like this, and also self-care. Yeah, so that have absolutely. So I feel much better now. I have much more energy, much more drive. So things is going the right way.
That's awesome. I'm very happy to hear it.
Thank you. And what about you, Annika? What have you done today about your self-care?
Yeah, so I woke up to pray the morning prayer. And after that, I just sat there and drank coffee with my husband and talked a bit about the important things in life. And then I called a good friend of mine, our cousin that lives down in Oslo. So that was a really nice conversation with one of my loved ones. And then I had some time to just sit on my own as well and reflect upon some very important things. And that was very good because sometimes it's good to have output and input and talk to people and discuss and reflect. But sometimes I need to have only output. Sometimes I need to just write in a journey or just sit and reflect on my own. So that was what I needed today, I think.
Sounds like a great start on the day. You did many things, yeah. Reflect is so good. Take care of your self-care, yeah, because then you can relax and find peace. And also another point is it's great to speak with your loved ones or people you trust, because that's also self-care.
Definitely. And we need it all. We need people. We need to communicate. We need great friendships and great relationships. And also we need to just ask ourselves. So after I've done those kind of things, I also had time to just sit on my own as well, because I needed a little bit of that as well today.
Great.
But what is this all about? What is self-care? Self-care is the practice of taking intentional actions to maintain and improve your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It's about prioritizing yourself, not as a luxury, but as a necessity. And this is very important. Not as a luxury, but as a necessity. Let's look at some different types of self-care and how to practice them. First, we're going to look at physical self-care, which means taking care of your body. That means getting enough sleep. We know from previous episodes that we are recommended to sleep 7 to 9 hours per night. We also have to eat nourishing food and stay hydrated. Give your body what it needs and good quality of what you feed yourself with. Exercise regularly. Even a short walk outside counts. And rest when your body needs it. Then we're going to talk about emotional self-care, which means managing emotions in a healthy way. Express your feelings through journaling. Journaling can be good because it is the only thing I know of that gives you only output, no input. You can also express yourself through talking to someone you trust, which can also be very beneficial. Sometimes we need both. And set boundaries for yourself and say no when needed. This is important for your self-respect, self-love, and freedom. Practice self-compassion instead of self-criticism. Make instead of break.
And then you have mental self-care, keeping your mind sharp and balanced. Read books, learn new skills, or engage in creative hobbies. Take break from social media and digital overload. Practice mindfulness or meditation to quiet your thoughts. Social self-care. Nurturing relationship. Spend quality time with the loved ones. Just as we talked about for 2-3 minutes ago, Annika called a loved cousin and have a great conversation with she. Surround yourself with positive, supportive people. Reach out for help when you need it.
And the last one is the spiritual self-care, connecting with something greater than yourself. Practice gratitude or daily reflection. Engage in activities that gives you purpose, which can be meditation, prayer, walks out in the nature. Be present and appreciate the moment. This is very important. And before we move on, let's emphasize why self-care matters so much. It prevents burnout and stress. It improves mental clarity and focus. It boosts confidence and self-worth. And it strengthens the relationship you have with yourself as well as the relationship you have with others. So this means everything.
Absolutely. It's so important to take care of ourselves so we not get burnout. But when we have peace inside ourselves, we will absolutely be better to be around for everyone else. So take care of yourself so good, and you can be good for your loved one.
Mm-hmm.
And also your colleagues, friends, everyone around you. And for me, about self-care, I have to sit down often and think without distraction. I have to put away my phone, everything, and just sit and thinking. And often I like to organize things in my life. If I have a lot of things I have to do, I have to just organize it inside my head. Well, this one I gotta do first, this one I gonna do. Okay, I finish with this one. And then I get much more peace. And I not get so stressed because I need organize inside my head. And often, many times also, I just sit and thinking about the future, about the life, and sometimes also I not think. I just stay in the moment. I look the view, look the nature, and just relax. And also, I have prayers to God that give me peace of mind. I became very calm. And also, I like to walk a lot of trips to take care of myself. I run, exercise, boxing, body weights, and cardio training. Then I feel so much better inside my head after. Feel more calm and I have the good feelings. So training is so important for my self-care. And other things I do, I like to relax with movies, also series. Then I can forget everything in the world and just relax. So that's great. Also like to drive car alone while I'm listening to relaxing music. So that's some of the thing I do for my self-care.
And I think one of the common denominators here is that you say that you know yourself. You have been on an investigative journey, finding out that, okay, I'm very organized. I have to organize things. If not, I will get stressed. For other people, they enjoy a certain mess and they would feel stressed if they have to have it so organized around them all the time. It's not like one of these things is right and one of these things are wrong, generally speaking. But for you, you need the organization part. So that's why you do it. And I think this is so important to have a good way of taking care of ourselves. We need to know ourselves. We need to dig deep within ourselves. Who am I? What are my values? What are my insecurities? What are my needs? What is important to me? And I want to share something with you because I've been on a self-care journey for almost 27 years now. And that journey has been very necessary. I've learned a lot. And it has changed a lot as well, because I remember when I was young, my teachers were so worried about me, caring so much about others, always prioritizing other people in front of myself. My parents, my siblings, all of you told me this. And I cried and I felt so bad for other people. I always prioritized other people's needs in front of my own. And then my mother said to me one day, you have to remember that on the airplane, they tell you to put your own mask on first before you help others. And I told her, I am never going to do that. If the plane crashes or the oxygen goes, of course I'm going to help the other people before I help myself. And she said, but maybe you will die and then you cannot help anyone else and you will not be here anymore for anyone or for yourself. And I said, no, then I'll rather die because I'm very stubborn, you know. But that kind of started a process in my mind. And I have come to realize that when I have gotten my deep burnouts, I'm not here for anyone else. I'm not able to be afloat and take care of others or take care of myself. And no one benefits from that. So my self-care journey has been to kind of swallow that pride that I once had and told her, no, I'm never going to do that. To come to actually realize that it is not beneficial for anyone if I'm not able to take care of myself. And then I've gone deep within this kind of journey, analyzing everything within myself. What do I need? What are my values? What is important for me to focus on and to prioritize? And to prioritize my own well-being is fundamental to just stay afloat and to be all right with the things that happen. And now I've come to the point where I'm okay with whatever happens. But it's been a long way here and it's been a lot of work put in to accept this.
Yeah, but I'm very happy that you take much better care of yourself now than before. Because remember, you was very stressed, tired, sad. You have a lot of headache before, and now you take good care of yourself, and also then you can take good care the other at the same time. But you still have peace in mind and much better with yourself. So that's great.
Hmm.
So other things I do every night, yeah. Before I gonna sleep, I used to go through my day from chronological from the morning to the night inside my head, and find out everything I have done this day and what on good and what bad and what things I can do better. So then I So then I know what I have done this day, yeah. Because if you not think about it, time goes and you not think so much about life. And I think more about the life, and at the same time I can know, okay, I shouldn't behave like this, or I shouldn't be like this in that situation. So I always to improve myself. And a lot of good and positive self-talk to myself also. Okay, great work, great work. Okay, come on, champ, you can do this. And very good all the time. And that boosts my confidence. I can do it. I did it now. Great. So a lot of positive self-talk and good conversation with myself. And I feel so much better. And sometimes I like to turn off the light in the house and light some candles, sit in a dark room, no music, no sound, nothing, and just sit and relax, meditate about my life, about my future. And it's so great, yeah. Just sit and not get distracted about anything. So that's a great thing for my self-care.
And I think that is a key right there, because we have to be comfortable in silence. There was a period in my time where I wasn't. I was always distracted with 3 to 4 to 5 things at the same time. I had to listen to a podcast while cooking and talking on the phone and vacuuming. It was so many things going on at the same time because it was a chaos up there. But then I had to practice being in silence, tolerating all of my thoughts and handling them as well. And when you are in silence, you are more open to being honest with yourself. And I think that this is so extremely fundamental and something that I'm still struggling with this. It's not like everything has sorted out and this is easy. It's not like that at all. I'm still struggling with these things. But what I focus a lot on now for my own self-care is to hold myself to the higher standards. It is to be honest with myself, to always ask myself the right questions. How does this make me feel? What do I need? What is the right thing? What does my heart tell me? And the thing that controls you, or the things that you avoid, controls you. If there's something that's occupying you a lot, but you just avoid it, it's gonna still occupy you. So you have to face your fears. You have to take charge in your life, and you have to be honest with yourself. You have to ask yourself these kind of questions, investigate in yourself, and do it. Hold yourself to the higher standards and be responsible for your own good.
Yeah, because if you don't do it for yourself, who else gonna do it for you? No one.
That is so true.
Other things I do, I have this morning walk, yeah, as I mentioned earlier in this episode. Morning walk every morning with gratitude. 10 minutes every morning I walk outside to get daylight inside my eyes while I'm reflecting. And it's so great. So I try to do it every morning. I can recommend everyone that. And you feel so great too. After you walk a little trip on 10 minutes, you come inside and you feel good already at the morning. You just wake up and you feel great already. And I also eat healthy food, and I try not to eat candy. Yeah? And when I eat healthy food and not candy, take something healthy instead, I feel great. I embrace it. I feel, oh, this is so good. I feel so healthy now, and I not put shit inside my body, and that's so great feeling. So I embrace the feeling. Other things, learn new skills. For example, now became a better communicator and try to entertain more in the podcast. Became a better storyteller and learn podcast without script. That's just some of the skills I work about now, and that's great for self-care because you have to work on yourself, you have to think, you have to be creative, you have to challenge yourself. So that's great about self-care because you feel a good feeling, yeah, when you achieve and you see that you became better on things.
Definitely. And this podcast has given me so much. It has made me reflect a lot more about these important things, and it also makes me remember them throughout the day. It's great reminders on being more grateful, thinking more positively, and self-care is about a lot of areas, as we talked about in the beginning of the episode. And something that I focus a lot about now is nutrition. We know that there are a lot of microplastic in the food that we eat. Every week they say that you eat the amount of a credit card that you actually get inside of you through all the food that we eat. It's so processed, it's filled with plastic. So now I'm trying to do the small changes to eat more clean food, not so much processed food either, and also to not cut on those plastic boards. These kind of small changes, because it all adds up. Small changes adds up to something very big in how it affects your life. And something that I've thought about is that when you spend so much time on everyone else, you focus so much about everyone else, the reality shows on TV, the TikTok, everything, you don't have time to focus on yourself. And we know this, that you never see a tree grow. You never see a person get their stuff together, but they disappear. They work on themselves and then they come back as a better version, as Annika 2.0 in a way. And that's what I had to do. I moved to Thailand. I spent so much time listening to podcasts, digging deep within my personal development. We started this business together. I've done a lot of changes in my life to have a better life, and I'm very happy about it. And I think that sometimes we need to burn some bridges to have space for others. And that's what I did many years ago. I cut out TV. I cut out a lot of time on social media because it doesn't give me anything good. And who controls your mind? Who do you let control your mind? If you spend hours and hours on things that doesn't really matter every day, then you get very affected by the movies you see, the series you see, all of these kind of things. So now I try to cut out the things that's not good for me, like the microplastic. It is a very small thing, and I have a lot to learn still, but I try to make all of these small changes to become better.
Smart, yeah. I will start with that also. That sounds like a great idea.
It's very, very important.
What did you use? Wood boards instead?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And I also have wooden boards, and I have this stone that I cut on. And there's many things I'm still not as good as. I still have this plastic bottle that I drink from, and it's not good. So there are still some changes that needs to be made. I'm still in that kind of process. I need to learn a lot more about it. But these kind of small changes, don't cut on the plastic board, because then small pieces of the plastic goes into your food and you feed yourself with it. And also like minced meat, it's so filled with all kinds of bad stuff. It's a lot better to eat clean meat, not so processed.
Yeah, absolutely. Processed food is absolutely worth to stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
So other things, I spend time with my family and friend, have good conversation, talk about life, good story, laugh. That's great for self-care. Also, I like to teach my daughter new things and have great conversation with she. Great for me to learn she something, and great for she to learn new skills. And spend good time together. That's absolutely charge my battery. And be present, because you cannot be two places at the same time.
Very, very important. And now I want to challenge you.
Oh, help.
But not you, actually. You're the only person I'm not talking to right now.
That was very good.
But for everyone else, all of our listeners, I'm talking to you. You have learned a lot in this podcast, and you've learned a lot in this episode. We have told you in the beginning of the episode that we have self-care in physical ways, emotional ways, mental, social, and spiritual. So now I encourage you to press pause and reflect upon, where are you in these kind of areas? How do you take care of yourself in the physical way, in the emotional way, in the social way? Is there anything in your life that is troubling you, that make you feel very sad or controlled, or that you're kind of falling short of your goals and desires and needs within these areas? What is challenging you, and what are you going to do to fix it?
And then about mental restitution. I know a lot about the point, but I have forgot to do them. Yeah, I have been so excited about the podcast business since we start, so I forget that. And Annika told me that some weeks ago that I have to be better on my mental restitution, because that's the reason she told me that I in the starting phase of get burnout. So after she say that, I have a start to do a lot of the points we talk about today and talk about in some earlier episode. So that was a great tips, Annika. Very good. You remind me that I have to be better on that.
And it's a new term for me. I didn't even know about it until, I don't know, 2 to 3 years ago. But can you tell briefly, what do you do for your mental restitution for the people that has never heard about it? Because we've all heard about recovery physically, how our muscles need to recover. But how can we recover our mind?
Yeah. Because I work all the time and I did think about our business all the time. So then I didn't get relaxed my mind because I always was busy and stressed. So walk a trip, reflect, meditate, training, and just sit, not do nothing, and think about my life, about my future, things like this. Yeah. So it's not work related, and just when I not gonna work, I have to learn myself that I think about something else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great thing for my mental restitution, and
Mm-hmm.
relax with movie, TV series.
Mm-hmm. Because what you're kind of saying is that if you were training hard now, you could study and recover your muscles, because then your muscles are recovering. But now you're working so hard, you're always studying and improving and working with this podcast business, that you need a time off of that. So the mental restitution, it can be to just wind off with a movie or something, but also just to think about nothing, do nothing, go for a walk, have a break of all of this input.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. And I always gonna remind myself, yeah, no, I have to be good on those points because it's so important. If not, get burnout.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take good care of ourselves, because then we become much better for everyone around us. Then and you do a big favor to yourself and everyone around you when you take care of yourself.
And the common denominator in all of this is personal development. We have to work on it, whatever our goal is, if it's business or as an athlete or as a family member or as any way, you as an individual have to take care of yourself, and you will find your ways through personal development, because personal development means developing yourself. To do that, you have to reveal, who are you? What are your needs? Who are you on the inside? So you have to get to know yourself. You have to be honest. You have to take care of yourself and find out what you need, and then do everything to give yourself exactly that. You are the most important project you will ever work on in this entire world. So never stop doing it. I want to encourage you to create those small moments, be out in the nature, discover yourself, develop yourself, but also create a life that you're happy with, because life is way too short. So don't give control to things that doesn't really matter. Don't let bad things control you. You have to control yourself. You determine where you're going and what you will give yourself. And just remember, you deserve to have a good life, but you are responsible of making sure that you are giving yourself a good life. There's no excuses. There's not other people to blame. You are responsible for your own happiness. So take care of yourself.
This episode was recorded on April 3rd, 2025. In the show note, you will find a link to our homepage, the 101percentpodcast.com, where you can subscribe to our free weekly newsletter, donate to our podcast, and all the information about subscription you need. We share for you. Take care of yourself and give it your best. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend. It is important for us to get out our message so we can help as many people as possible. And we will highly appreciate it if you could take 1 minute of your time to follow us on social media and review the show on Apple Podcast and Spotify. All links are below. Our Instagram is the 101% podcast. Until next time, take care and go 101% into achieving your goals. You owe it to yourself.